Hello, good evening, welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry this is very late, but I have been a very busy man today. Match week 19 Premier League predictions. Hello Antony. I've left the Liverpool-Leicester preview that I have done in the description below, so if you want to go over and have a look at that, then please do. I had a very good preview earlier with Antony. Big thanks to him for joining me on my channel for that. So very good for him to do that as well. So match week 19 games are as follows. We've got some big games. We have obviously got Leicester City against Liverpool, second against first. Big game, that one. And then we also have Wolves against Manchester City, which is on the 27th, not on Boxing Day. And obviously all these games are live on Amazon Prime again. So obviously if you have Amazon Prime, then you will be very spoilt for choice with the games, as they are all on Amazon Prime. So the games we have are as follows this week. So 12:30 game, we have Tottenham against Brighton. And then we have 6 3 o'clock games. We have Aston Villa against Norwich City. We have Bournemouth against Arsenal, Chelsea against Southampton, Crystal Palace against West Ham, London derby, good game that one. Everton against Burnley, Sheffield United against Watford, and then we've got a 5:30 game. We have Manchester United against Newcastle United, and then there is that big one at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, interesting. Leicester City against Liverpool, and then on Friday we have Wolves against Manchester City. I sent the thumb over mail. Oh, thank you, thanks Anthony. I'll get that after this video. So let's have a quick look how I did last week. Not a good week. Average, I would have to say. So Everton Arsenal went for a 2-0 win to Everton. That finished 0-0. Probably the most boring match of the weekend thus far. It was absolutely awful. And if you're Carlo Ancelotti or Mikel Arteta, you will be thinking, what have we done to deserve these two teams? Because it was dire. It was the awful game. Really poor. Aston Villa Southampton went for a 2-1 win to Aston Villa. Finished 3-1 to Southampton. Bournemouth Burnley went for a 2-1 win to Bournemouth. That finished 1-0 to Burnley. You can see how this is going, don't you? Brighton against Sheffield United. I only got one right. It was this one. I got Brighton, Sheffield United. I went for a 1-0 win to Sheffield United. That finished 1-0 to Sheffield United. So that's right. Newcastle United against Crystal Palace went for a 1-1 draw. That finished 1-0 to Newcastle. Norwich City against Wolves. I went for a 2-0 win to Wolves. That finished 2-1. West Ham Liverpool obviously postponed. Man City Leicester City went for a 2-2 draw. That finished 3-1 to Man City. Watford Manchester United went for a 2-1 win to Manchester United. That finished 2-0 to Watford. Oh dear. And Tottenham Chelsea went for a 3-2 win for Tottenham. Finished 2-0 to Chelsea. So hopefully it is a better week. Hey Mr. Exclusive, hope you're doing okay. Hope you're feeling better as well. Not been very well. I've been very poorly, I see. So hope you're feeling a lot better as well. So let's kick things off, and we have Tottenham against Brighton now, and they have only met 5 times in the Premier League era. And there have been 3 wins to Tottenham, 1 draw and 1 win to Brighton. And the last result was a 1-0 win to Tottenham. But obviously, the game in October or early November, Brighton beat Tottenham by 3-0. But obviously, this was when Tottenham were going for a really sticky spell at that time, and Brighton were very good. So Tottenham coming off the back of a 2-0 defeat to Chelsea. Yeah, much better. Happy it happened before Boxing Day football. Yeah, Mr. Exclusive. I mean, you are going to the game against Newcastle, so that would be a very bad game if you went to if you went to the Watford game. So that would have been very interesting indeed. So Tottenham are coming off the back of a 2-0 defeat to Chelsea. It has to be said, Chelsea were thoroughly deserved winners in that game. I know Tottenham. I know obviously Son gets sent off for an. It has to be said, you are going to get red carded now, because obviously VAR will pick up that that will pick up those little details. And unfortunately, you just cannot kick out this. You just cannot kick out someone. And yes, Rudiger made the most of it, but Son, you cannot do that. And he's now had 3 red cards in 2019. He's the first player since Lee Cattermole for Sunderland in 2010 to have 3 red cards in a calendar year. So obviously he's not having a very good season disciplinary wise, and obviously 2019 I think he'll be looking forward to seeing the backup. But then again, he is a very, very important player to Tottenham, but they will be missing him for this game against Brighton. Brighton, very disappointing against Sheffield United, has to be said. Did have their chances against Sheffield United. It's probably one of the first games you would have to say that Sheffield United kept Mopé quiet. They kept Connolly quiet. So it was a very, very good win for Sheffield United to get there. And I think it is going to be a very, very hard task for Brighton to go to Tottenham. Obviously, this is an early kickoff, so it shall be a very interesting game indeed. But for me, Tottenham, I have to say, I think they will bounce back in this one. They usually do beat Brighton. I know Brighton's last trip to North London obviously resulted in a 2-1 win against Arsenal. So can they do a North London double? Not for me. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Tottenham. 3 reds in half a calendar year. I'm going to say he will end on 5. Wow, if you got 5 red cards, Mr. E, I think there would be something that would have to be questioned there for sure. It's just awful, absolutely awful for if he could do that. But yeah, we'll see. So I'm going for a 2-0 win to Tottenham in this game, and that's live on Amazon Prime at 12:30. I will be working on Boxing Day, so I will miss that game. But obviously I will see the Leicester-Liverpool game, so I will look forward to that. The next game we have are as follows. 2 teams really struggling for form, and obviously one of them has now gone into the relegation zone, is Aston Villa against Norwich City. And the last 5 between the sides I have resulted in 4 wins to Villa and 1 win to Norwich City, and the last result was a 2-0 win to Aston Villa. I'm going to record the preview with Dave. Be right back, says Anthony. That's absolutely fine, Anthony. Yeah, enjoy. I'll catch that later. So take it easy. So Aston Villa against Norwich City. Villa were really, really poor against Southampton. Southampton just absolutely dominated them. Obviously, McGinn is a huge loss. He's now out for 3 months. Big blow to lose him for 3 months, and he's been a very, very good midfield player for Villa, so it will be a big miss. But Jack Grealish still seems to be picking up a few goals as well, so he's doing really, really well. But yeah, Villa are now into the relegation zone, and that was a game they probably could and maybe needed to win that one, just to get them a little trapdoor safety from Southampton. But obviously Southampton are now out of the relegation zone. How long that'll be, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see that happens. Norwich City have now gone on another game where they could take the lead, but they do not win. And this is a really, really bad thing to happen to you if you are literally wanting to survive in this league. You cannot go game by game by going into a job now where it is a very, very hard job. The Arsenal job is a really, really hard job, it has to be said. So it's not looking good for him. I mean, good luck to him. Good luck to him. I mean, Arsenal is a really, really tough job, as we've both said, and it's going to be a very, very hard game, I think, for him to win this. So we'll see. But as far as this game goes, I can't really separate them. Arsenal really poor away from home. Bournemouth going through a little bit of a sticky spell, it has to be said. I am going to go for a 1-1 draw between Bournemouth and Arsenal. I think I was going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal win, but just because of Arsenal's away record, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this game. Chelsea against Southampton now, ladies and gents. The last 5 between the sides have resulted in 4 wins to Chelsea and 1 draw. against these two, and the last result was a 0-0 draw, surprisingly enough. But this was on the 2nd of January last year. So it'll be an interesting game, this one. Chelsea coming off the back of a fantastic 2-0 win against Tottenham yesterday. They were excellent. They were really, really good. I was very impressed with the way that they played. Willian obviously getting 2 goals as well. However, the game was overshadowed by more racist chanting. Rudiger, obviously, he does alert the referee, Antony Taylor. Antony Taylor does the protocol. He goes over to the 2 managers, says that something's been said, and it does stop for a little bit, and then there's been a Chelsea fan arrested for racially abusing Son. I mean, this is just getting out of hand now, and there is going to be a time now where there is going to have to be something said that it's just wrong. It really is. It really is wrong. I'm not going to go on about racism, but it is creeping back into our game, and this is another incident that's just going to have to be. What they have to definitely stamp it out for sure, and it's not looking good. It's not looking good, but Chelsea, very, very good win against Tottenham, and hopefully they'll go in and continue this. And it was probably needed at the right time as well, because obviously Tottenham had a chance to go into the top 4. Chelsea remain there at this moment in time, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Southampton, very good win. 3-1 away to Aston Villa. And Danny Ings is on absolute fire right now. He cannot stop scoring, can Danny Ings. And obviously, James Ward, Jack Stevens as well scores for Southampton at Villa. So it's a very, very good win. It is a very, very good win. But will Southampton be able to maintain this? It'll be interesting to see. It'll be very, very interesting to see. But for me, I think Chelsea will continue their good form. I think Chelsea will get a couple of goals here. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Chelsea. I think it'll be a very, very hard game for Southampton, but I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Chelsea. Now we have a London derby. We have Crystal Palace against West Ham, and they are quite even on these games. There is 1 win to Palace, 1 win to the Hammers, and 3 draws. And the last result was a 1-1 draw between the sides. Palace, 1-0 defeat to Newcastle. And it has to be said, probably Newcastle did deserve to win that game. Palace did have their chances, but Newcastle did dominate the first half, and then obviously they dominated the second half as well. So it was a very, very good win for Newcastle. And, Crystal Palace coming in back at their front of their home fans, and they'll want to bounce back for sure. It'll be a very, very interesting game, this one, I think. Obviously, London derbies are very, very hard to predict. And it should be interesting, because obviously West Ham they will be fresh, West Ham. They've still got Pellegrini, as I'm obviously doing this live. They've still got Pellegrini at this moment in time. But how long that will be, who knows? It'll be very, very interesting to see how long that will happen. So we'll see for this one. But for this game, I can't really separate them. It's a London derby. It could be any score for me. But for this game, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Crystal Palace and West Ham. It'll be an interesting game for that one, but I'm going for a 1-1 draw in the fixture. Everton against Burnley now, and this is the first game for Carlo Ancelotti as the Everton manager. And the last 5 between the sides have resulted in 2 wins to Everton and 3 wins to Burnley. Quite interesting. So Burnley lead the head-to-head recently. And the last result was a 2-0 win to Everton. Now, obviously, Everton-Arsenal, I did say, was absolutely awful. It was awful. It was really, really awful. But Everton did enough to maybe win that game. Bit unlucky, but very, very, very unlucky not to actually get the 3 points against Arsenal. But obviously, Duncan Ferguson did a very, very good job. And, Carlo Ancelotti's now taking the reins. And, he said some interesting stuff. He wants to make Everton Champions League contenders. He also wants to try and win the Premier League with Everton. So, big, big ambitions from Mr. Ancelotti. And then, obviously, the new stadium as well. It looks like it could be on Bramley Docks as well. So, it's looking very, very interesting for Everton. But They'll definitely want to get themselves away from that relegation zone as soon as possible. But Duncan Ferguson, he's steadied the ship a little bit, so Ancelotti's coming in, and it'll be very interesting. Be interesting to see how they do. Burnley, another fantastic win against Bournemouth, and basically played very, very well. Obviously, Jay Rodriguez gets the winner as well. Very, very good header from a very good cross as well. It's going really well. It's going really, really well for them. And however, they are going to a place where they have won one in the last 5, I think. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see that one. But I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to the Blues. I think Ancelotti will start with a win. Everton Premier League winners, put £50 on and you'll make millions, says Mr. Exclusive. Well, who knows? But I can't see I can't see that. I really cannot see that. But we'll see what happens. So the next game we have is I'm laughing at that. Sheffield United against Watford now. And the last there's only been 3 fixtures between these two in the Premier League era, and it's 2 wins to Sheffield United and 1 draw. And the last result was a 1-0 win to Sheffield United. Sheffield United continuing to be unbeaten away from home. Obviously, their next away game is Manchester City, and then it's Liverpool on the 2nd of January. So, big tests coming up for Sheffield United, but they have been absolutely terrific away from home. Another cracking win against Brighton. Obviously had to contend with more VAR controversy again. Not good. Not good. I think Chris Wilder's getting sick and tired of VAR ruling out goals for him. And it'll be very, very interesting for Chris Wilder for sure. But they are coming back at the front of their home fans. But they are coming up against a rampant Watford who beat Manchester United 2-0. But were definitely helped by poor goalkeeping from David De Gea and a really bad tackle from Aaron Wan-Bissaka for Troy Deeney to score his first goal in 8 months from the penalty spot. But Watford, to their credit, they actually deserved to win against Manchester United. It wasn't because Manchester United gifted them the 2 goals. Watford actually played very, very well, and United were very, very lethargic going forward. Very, very poor. And yeah, I think Watford, obviously they are going away from home again, but it's a big win for Watford. And obviously Nigel Pearson has definitely steadied the ship coming in. And I don't think he'll get anything from Sheffield United. Sheffield United are very, very good at home and away for sure. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Sheffield United in this game. And now we come to the 5:30 game, which is Manchester United against Newcastle United. And the last result, the five games previous to that, have resulted in 3 wins to Manchester United and 2 wins to Newcastle United. And the last result was a 3-2 win to Manchester United. No, Doug, if you had to go off Twitter, Ollie missed the ball and mistimed his tackle, missed the 1-on-1. Oh dear. You do make me laugh, Mr. E. You do make me laugh. Yeah, Manchester United, poor. Very, very poor. I have never seen them look so poor as they were at Watford. Really, really poor. They just never got going. Slow the blocks. Obviously, Lingard lobs Foster, but that goes to the top of the net. Yeah, they could have been ahead. They could have been ahead at half time, but 2 quick fire goals from Watford. Let's talk about the first goal. What is David De Gea thinking? What is he thinking? Obviously, it's a really poor shot to begin with. I know he hits it on and down to the ground, but De Gea catches it. It literally goes off the back of his head and then into the back of the net. It was a very, very poor goalkeeping error from Mr. David De Gea. Very, very poor from Manchester United. And then obviously the second goal, obviously Wan-Bissaka mistimes his tackle. He's been excellent this season. We'll not get ahead of ourselves, but he has been excellent this season, has Wan-Bissaka. But unfortunately, he did mistime his tackle. And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. So we can see on that one. But they're coming up against the Newcastle side, who... Oh, hang on. Glenn has just said, correction, on the last time Newcastle faced Man United, Newcastle won 1-0 with a Matty Longstaff debut. Yeah, Glenn, I was meaning Old Trafford. Sorry. I meant to say that. I meant to say about the Old Trafford. But yes, I did remember about the Matty Longstaff debut goal as well. I think I was actually in Glasgow at the time, waiting to see Still Game live, and I was in a pub watching that, and I saw that goal go in, trying very, very hard to focus on being on a date with my fiance, but it was in the background, so it was you know it's hard not to follow that, but thank you for that. But yeah, I did know about that. Newcastle United, fantastic win against Palace. And Miguel Almiron has finally scored his first goal when what must feel like 27, 28 games since joining Newcastle. Yeah, he'll be absolutely delighted to get his first goal. And it has been coming for ages. I think, he does take his shirt off to celebrate. But we give him credit. It was a very, very good cutback from Andy Carroll. And it was a very, very good finish from Almiron. So Almiron has now scored his first goal. Fantastic that he's scored his first goal. Very, very good from him. So, but obviously away from home, Newcastle United are not great away from home, and they're coming up against the Manchester United side, who will definitely want to bounce back. I think this is going to be a very, very close game. I think it'll be a very, very open game. I think both sides will definitely play some good stuff. Newcastle United are actually doing okay, and they are in the top 10 at the moment, and quite on merit at the moment. They're doing really, really well at this present moment in time. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Manchester United. I do think it'll be a very, very tight game, but I think Manchester United will win by 2-1, but I don't think it'll be very easy for them at all, so we'll see what happens in that one. And now we come to the 8 PM game, which is Leicester City against Liverpool, and the last 5 between the sides have resulted in 1 draw and 4 wins to Liverpool, and the last result was a 2-1 win to Liverpool at the King Power, but obviously Liverpool have played Leicester already this season, and that was a 2-1 win to Liverpool, a very late James Milner penalty. Leicester City, they played well against Man City, there's no doubt about it, but obviously Man City did take over in the end. Mahrez getting a rare goal as well against his former side as well. Yes, it was deflected. But obviously, Man City continuing their good form, and it was a very good win because Leicester City did take the lead. Jamie Vardy again. Who else? Who else but Jamie Vardy? I reckon he will get the golden boot this season. I did say at the start of the season I thought it might be Harry Kane. I did say it might be Sergio Aguero. I'm thinking that Vardy will definitely get the golden boot now for me. So I think that'll probably happen. But this is a good Leicester City side. Don't get me wrong about it. Leicester City are doing very, very well and deserve to be there. And I don't think anyone would have said Leicester City would be title contenders. And I asked Antony earlier if he thought the Leicester City would be title contenders. No, his word was no, because if I'm being honest, I had Leicester to finish 6th this season. And it's happening at the moment, but I have to say I've been very, very impressed with Leicester City, and I think it would be a very, very interesting game for sure. Liverpool, obviously they're coming back as World Cup champions. Try saying that if you're not tongue-tied. Yeah, a very, very good win against Flamenco. Obviously, Premier League, back to Premier League, and it's a big, big game, this one. Really, really big game. Obviously, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is likely to miss the game. He hobbled off against Flamenco, so hopefully he will be back in the near future, but he will definitely not be back for this game. So maybe a chance for Keita to get a place in the starting 11. it's going to be an interesting game because midfield battle, some good battles for sure. Obviously, you got Trent against, it could be Barnes, it could be Damari Gray. You've got Robertson against Perez, and then obviously you've got Van Dijk and Gomez versus Vardy. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game, and then obviously that midfield battle is obviously key as well. So Leicester City don't concede many. Liverpool don't concede many. Leicester City have the meanest defence in the Premier League at this moment in time. Liverpool have not lost yet in the Premier League. Something's got to give. I think this is going to be a very, very good game. I think it'll be very, very open. I think both sides will want to score goals. I actually think Liverpool can go to the King Power. I think they will sneak the win. So I'm going to go for a 3-2 win to Liverpool in this game. I think it'll be a very, very close game, but Liverpool to come out on top by 3-2 in this game. So we will see what will happen in this one. And the final game the final game is on the 27th of December. It is Wolves against Manchester City. The last 5 between the sides have resulted in 3 wins to Man City, 1 draw, and 1 win to Wolves, which was the last game between the sides. Wolves won 2-0 against Manchester City at the Etihad earlier this season. So it'll be a very, very interesting game. And in fact, the last result, the last meeting at Molineux was a 1-1 draw. So it'll be very interesting to see. But Wolves are just on absolutely fire right now. Cannot seem to lose a game. This is the main thing you have to say. They cannot seem to lose a game at the moment, and they're doing very, very well at this present moment in time. Very, very interesting to see if they can continue this good run. Obviously, Jimenez is scoring for fun. Roman Saiz is obviously getting a few goals as well. Jota as well. Moutinho, Neves. Okay, he's been in and out of the team, but Neves still gets goals, and Moutinho still gets goals. So they're doing really, really well, Wolves, and it'll be a very, very interesting game, this one, I think, because obviously Man City are coming off the back of back-to-back wins against Arsenal and Leicester, and obviously they played very, very well against Leicester, and on another day they might have had 4 or 5 against Leicester because City were different kettle of fish against Leicester. They played really, really well. Was a bit of a training match against Arsenal, but very, very good, and we shall see what happens. In this game. So for the game, I think Man City will sneak the win. I'm going to say Man City will win. However, I wouldn't be too surprised if this is a draw either. I do think it'll be a very, very close game. I'm going to go for Wolves 1, Manchester City 2. So we'll see what happens with that one. So that is it. That is my match week 19 predictions for the 2019-2020 Premier League season. And we shall see what happens in these games. So I will go through my predictions very, very quickly. So I've gone for Tottenham 2, Brighton 0. Aston Villa 2, Norwich City 1. Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Chelsea 3, Southampton 1. Crystal Palace 1, West Ham 1. Everton 2, Burnley 0. Sheffield United 2, Watford 0. Manchester United 2, Newcastle United 1. Leicester City 2, Liverpool 3. And Wolves 1, Manchester City 2. So that is that for my Premier League predictions. Yeah, guys, if you want to play along at home, I've had a couple of people play along at home very, very soon as well. Be very, very good if you could do that. Then leave your comments in the comment section below. Leave your predictions in the comment section below, I should say. And this is my last live stream until Christmas, so I would like to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. Hope you all have a very, very good day on Wednesday, and obviously you will all enjoy the Boxing Day fixtures for sure. So this is my last live stream until Christmas, as I've said. So tomorrow I will definitely record my match week 20 predictions for the 2019-2020 Ladbrokes Premiership season, and then obviously that one will be going into winter break at the start of January, so that'll be interesting as well. So thank you for you all tuning in, and yeah, I look forward to reading some of your comments as well. So, but if you do like my content, then please hit that subscribe button. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Smash a like, leave a comment. That'd be brilliant. And I will wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Have a very, very good day, and I'll be back with my Ladbrokes Premiership predictions tomorrow. Before obviously doing no YouTube on Christmas Day, because obviously I'll be with family. But have a very, very happy Christmas, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Merry Christmas, guys. We'll see you all very later. Cheers.